And, this is where it starts. I mean, okay, as far as the gay thing, right? Uh, yeah, I dealt with that stuff as a kid. Oh, you sissy, this and that. But I could play softball and, do stuff that wasn't expected. I had a GI Joe, but I was fighting everything tooth and nail to get an easy bake oven too. Because I'm a certified chef today because I had 26 years in the event planning world and I had my own catering division. But no one could have known back in 1969. 5-year-old screaming and saying, "I want an easy bake oven." They're like, "Oh Lord!" And then there was one person in my adoptive family, a cousin who was gay, and he would come from Chicago to Michigan where we lived, and his name was Cousin Leon, and he had a friend, and Ernest, and they'd always say, "We know Leon is coming with his friend," and I'd see all the old ladies in the family doing all this stuff, and they're like, "How your friend doing?" And I was like, and they'd come, and there was something different, you know, and they're got their little scarves and stuff. And now we're in the 70s and I'm seeing it. And he always, I think he knew because he was always like, uh, just be yourself no matter what. And I was like, okay. And I'm looking at him like, what's up with that? Right. So he had his gaydar on. Even then, junior gaydar was working. So anyway, that was the first thing that made me question anything. And then also, and I'm just keeping it real, putting it out there, then came the catalogs. The J.C. Penney, remember that? Back in the day, we had catalogs. You guys might be too young for that. Sears and Pennies were the main ones.
No, I
And I
remember
would
the catalogs. I
remember the
remember.
catalogs?
I
Right.
remember the catalogs. Yeah.
Sears
Okay.
catalog. What's
Yeah.
the Black and Decker?
Yeah.
The Black and Decker catalog.
Yeah. Now, of course, I wasn't interested in that Black and Decker, but anyway, come on with some cooking or something like that. So I was the first time someone in the family said anything to me was when it was my adoptive mom. I had started tearing paying because my sisters would go in there and put little things by things they wanted or X's on outfits and whatnot, and especially in the toy section of the catalog at the very back. But I stumbled across the underwear section once, and it was the women's first, and I was like, is that a nipple? Because you could kind of see something in there, but but then I flipped and went to the men's. I said, well, they must have guy underwear too. So I went there, and not much to see. There was, like they say now, there was well, there's like no prints or anything. You see what I'm saying? So it's just all smooth, almost like you would see on a doll. Is how they did it when it came to the male thing. But women, you could see areolas through the bras and all this sort of thing. And I asked my mom, I said, why is it you can't see anything on the guy? She was like, why would you want to? Right now, then at the tone was the first that I was like, ooh, all right. So immediately, that was the first time I remember being conscientious of burying this. Okay, for some reason you don't want to put this out there. And I remembered how they talked about Leon and Arthur when they weren't around and how they'd laugh about different outfits and things after they were gone. Of course, no one ever said it to their faces. But they were extremely loved and everybody always called them to show up first. They were the life of the party and they always brought texture to every situation. That's how I like to refer to it.